Have you ever found yourself endlessly researching, overthinking every option, and feeling paralyzed instead of making a decision? If that sounds familiar, this episode is for you. Here's the big question I want you to think about. What's really holding you back? Fear or indecision? And what would happen if you acted despite the fear? Stick around because by the end of this conversation, you'll have practical strategies to move forward from overthinking into action. Today, we're diving into a topic that many of us grapple with: breaking free from analysis paralysis. Let's start by painting a picture of analysis paralysis. You sit down to make an important decision. Maybe it's launching a new project, changing careers, or even starting a new side hustle. Instead of confidently moving forward, you get stuck in a loop, weighing pros and cons, researching endlessly, and second-guessing yourself. Days turn into weeks, and nothing gets done. This isn't just frustrating, it could stunt your growth and limit your potential. But why does this happen? Often, it boils down to fear. The fear of failure, the fear of the unknown, or the fear of leaving the comfort of what's familiar. But here's the truth. Fear is not your enemy. It's natural. It's a protective mechanism trying to shield you from risk. The trick isn't to avoid fear. It's to learn how to work with it. Let's unpack this step by step. The first strategy about learning is to embrace and accept anxiety, unavoidable when you're stepping into something new. But instead of fighting those feelings, get familiar with them. Acknowledge, hey, I'm feeling nervous because I care about this. Accepting the possibility of failure and actually reframing it as a learning opportunity can be a game changer. Remember, your first attempt may not be perfect, and that's okay. Nobody's is. Next, I encourage you to shift to a learning mindset. What if instead of worrying about achieving the perfect result, you focus on what you could learn from the process? Think back to a time in your life when you tried something new and grew from that experience, even if it didn't go perfectly. That's the mindset that we're aiming for. A growth-oriented approach where every step, every mistake, and every success teaches you something valuable. What if, instead of anxiety, you replace those nervous thoughts with excitement? Write down what excites you about starting this new thing. Is it the freedom of a fresh start? The chance to work on something you love? The opportunity to challenge yourself or meet new people? Focus on the rewards. That can give you the energy you need to push through that hesitation. Now, let's get tactical. One of the biggest traps of overthinking is excessive research and planning. It's easy to fall into the comfort zone of, I'll act once I know everything. But guess what? You'll never feel 100% ready. So set a deadline for yourself, whether it's 48 hours, a week, a month, whatever. When you hit that deadline, commit to making a decision and taking action, no matter how small. If fear feels overwhelming, don't go through it alone. Communicate and seek support from others. Talk to trusted friends, mentors, or colleagues. Often, just verbalizing your concerns to someone else brings clarity. In my own journey, I've leaned on my support system countless times to help me see things from a different perspective, and I encourage you to do the same. Feeling unprepared? Build your confidence through training and development. Whether it's reading a book, taking an online course, or talking to an industry expert, getting the skills you need can help diminish anxiety. When you feel equipped, you feel empowered. When you feel empowered, you gain confidence. And don't underestimate the power of mindfulness and stress management. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, or even taking a walk can help you come back to the present moment. Stress is natural, but it doesn't have to control you. Here's one of my favorite approaches: taking small steps. You wouldn't eat an entire apple with one bite. You will break it into small chunks. That's the same thing you need to do with your goals. Take one small, manageable action at a time. Each step will build confidence and momentum, making the bigger picture feel less intimidating. It all comes back to cultivating a growth mindset. Challenges aren't something to avoid. They're opportunities to improve, adapt, and learn. Reflect on the times in your past where you overcame obstacles. Let that remind you you've done hard things before and you can do them again. Let me leave you with this. To conquer analysis paralysis, you got to act despite fear. Remember, fear is a sign that you're stepping out of your comfort zone, and that's a good thing. Even baby steps count. The worst case scenario isn't failing, it's staying stuck and never trying at all. So go for it, even if you're scared. Before we wrap up, let's turn the spotlight on you. What decision have you been putting off? I challenge you to pick one small action you can take in the next 24 hours to break free from your own analysis paralysis. Share your progress with me. I'd love to hear about it. You can drop me an email at ask@soundobjectivity.com or connect with me on Instagram @soundobjectivity. And don't forget to check out more helpful resources at www.soundobjectivity.com, as well as our Facebook page. If you found value in this episode, please make sure to share it with someone who might be feeling stuck. Together, we can build a community that boldly faces challenges and embraces the power of action. Grateful for your forward step and trusting the process. You've been listening to Breaking Free from Analysis Paralysis. My name is David Campagna, and this is the Sound Objectivity Podcast. Until next time.